Brothers, sisters, it's me. I'm at the window of your electronic device, and I'm here to present the most requested run by my Discord, Hobobarb Hell. We're heading back into the wilderness, welcoming Jayden Brayden back into our lives. Only because the people I thought loved me want me to suffer like a mad ape. Well, I'll show you, you filthy humans. This is going to be an extremely difficult and extremely emotional run, and has one of the best endings of any video I've ever done. So join me, friends, on a journey that started tough, got tougher, and will likely test the very limits of what I'm capable of doing. Which is acting like an ape, if that's not clear. So here we are back. We're actually, of course, starting off in Nightmare, doing that which must be done. Got to grind some levels out. We've got to get our experience up in order to tackle Hell. We're not really necessarily going to be able to level very easily when we get to Hell. But I've got some interesting plans on what we want to do. And one thing I'm really keen on doing is mixing up the build completely. As we did with the first video, second video, haven't really repeated any skills at all. So we're going to go for something completely different in this one, which could backfire massively. I had loads of crashes, unfortunately. One of the reasons why it's been really difficult taking some of these old characters and carrying those runs on into later difficulties. But we've converted Jayden Brayden to the Wrath of the Reign of the Warlock? God, I actually don't know what it's called. The Warlock expansion. And we are already having an absolute time of it. So look, I hate having to level here, but it is just generally such a good location in Act 5 to do so. I tried some of the terror zones, but my god, it's so difficult, especially the RNG of some of the heroes you get. And look, we've got very decent lightning resistance, but those burning souls were way too much for me. We found a 4-socket broadsword, which is actually a very, very good find. And we're level 69, which is very nice. So I'm looking at the war cries, specifically war cry the skill. I've never made, I think, what's known as a singer barb before, but we're going to try our very best to see if it's viable. What I do is I do allow myself one like token of absolution, which allows me to completely reset my character stats and skills once per run. So that allowed us to get into this dual wielding throwing weapons, which was a lot of fun actually. And I've, again, another build I've never done before, but I had an absolute blast playing. But it's time to mix it up. I don't want to have to do the same run again. That's one of the reasons why, I know there are meta ways to play this. I'm not going to be metaing any of this. I'm going to be going for a build I've never done before on a difficulty that, if you haven't tried this, by the way, it's well worth giving it a go. It completely changes the way you play the game. What am I doing? Grinding the Countess when I promised I'd never do that again? Well, we're looking for runes, of course. And we're not looking for very high-level runes. In fact, that 4-socket broadsword, or any 4-socket sword, would do at this point for what we're after, which is the Spirit Rune Word. And here we are. One of the hardest things about doing a No Town run is where do you just, do your stuff? I mean, just calm down. I want to be in town and feel safe, but you're still kind of looking over your shoulder. Tal, Thal, Ort, Am. Do we have an Am rune? Oh no. Okay, we've got a few Thal runes, which I know do cube up, so maybe it's a case of just continuing to grind until we get that. Some interesting drops. One of the interesting things you do when you have a No Town run is if you drop your cube on the floor, everything just spills out. Classic Jayden Brayden. 3 Thal runes gets us there, and hold on to the toilet seat. It's a ghostly ghost. Yeah, nothing's off limits in this video. I don't know why that still gives me such pleasure to find a ghostly ghost. We're looking for chip gems, and man, it took longer than I wanted to. I'm actually on normal difficulty just so I can smash through as many creatures as possible. And with that chip topaz, eventually, and I do this in literally the messiest spot, unfortunately, but beggars can't be choosers in this itinerant lifestyle. But we've queued up to get the Am rune that we need, which will be a real pain to grind any other way. And that completes our Spirit Rune Word, and we're hoping for some good stuff here. 34 is very good. So one of the most important stats on this, for most builds, is the faster cast rate. Doesn't really bother me, but it's just a nice thing to have. It's got some decent mana, and it's got some decent absorb as well. Not a great mana roll, but a lot more mana than we've currently got, so we should enjoy it. Honestly, the poverty I had for unique items was extreme. And it's expensive enough for me to use these identify scrolls. I can't just go and buy them in town, of course. But a completely pointless weapon for any class there. but just a cool looking thing to find. Up to level 71, I think that's probably as much as I want to be leveling up at this difficulty. I've actually beaten Hell with other characters at a much lower level, so we're well poised to take on Hell difficulty, at least. I hope so. Ah!
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Unfortunately, my mic won't let me scream. It just keeps like muting it. So you'll have to do your own scream as I run out of town. One thing that's so annoying, this is probably because I've had to like reinstall to stop the crashing, it's just reset loads of my options, which is a real pain. But talking of resets, we're going to reset with that token of absolution. Okay, first thing we need is strength. We're definitely going to need probably 55 at least to wear our armor. 60 might be required. Actually, yeah, here you go, Lidless Wall. Let's get strength up to 60. That's helpful for things like plated belts anyway. So a bare minimum, I think 60 strength is very decent. There are some skills you want with every character, and that's those 4. A little bit of increased speed, and of course you've got the increased defense and resistances there. Natural resistance probably being my favorite skill in the game. There are 3 shouts, of course, that are, again, pretty much necessary for every barbarian build. I'll write up there what each of them does. I'm sure many of you will know by this point. And then we've got a decision to make. Ultimately, we definitely want to be maxing the damage of Warcry. So Warcry, I mean, look, I've never used this skill before, but I'm told it's good. It does an area stun and damage. The damage doesn't look great, but the stun duration is very, very decent. It is very mana expensive, and it's got synergies all the way up that tree. So we can hopefully try out some of these other skills that I've never really used before. And Grim Ward, I think probably at some point will be quite useful just to help pump that damage up. Leap is the other one. That's our mobility skill. Leap attack is a better skill, but actually Leap's probably fine for what we're trying to achieve here. So let's get all the prerequisites, and then we'll start putting our points into Warcry. We'll need Warcry up to the maximum level possible. Early damage looks... Actually, I thought the damage was 120 to something. It's worse than that. Yeah, it's 63 to 75 is not great. I actually think I've done more damage in Act 1, at the end of Act 1 before. But look, we'll get as many points in as possible. 271 to 283. Okay, it's okay. That's at level 32 with very minimal synergies. We've got a decision to make of which of these other skills we want to push. We've only got 39 skill choices remaining, so which of these is really going to get us the most benefit? Battle Cry looks like it reduces the enemy damage and their defense. That seems like a bit of a no-brainer. That actually pushes our damage up quite significantly. So 533 to 556 seems a little better. And then we have Taunt. I don't know if we want to be bringing enemies to us, but Howl sends them away. And that, for getting places, could be pretty clutch. And with that, 795 to 830. Oh, actually, yeah, with that last skill point as well. Up to 844. Okay, that seems pretty good. It's very, very mana expensive. This is my big concern at this point. But we can buff ourselves with our shouts, giving us over 2,000 health. I'm even going to be making a lore rune word here. There's a few nice little bonuses there, but the main one I want is the +1 to skills. Be nice if we could get that damage. Yeah, I mean, it does actually help quite a lot. The only problem is it really gimps our resistances quite significantly. And do I want to get rid of Rock Stopper? Probably not. That was one of the best items we found. And I forget how painful inventory management is on this run. A, be able to carry all your potions, but anytime you find anything, you have to make space for it. Now, Spell Steal does have teleport. When I first looked at this item, I was like, oh, level 1 teleport. That could come in really useful. It's only got 12 charges. There's no way of getting those charges back as far as I'm aware. There might be a cube recipe, but I've done enough Countess runs at this point. The one thing I probably didn't appreciate is it does have Decrepify. That is a double physical damage skill. There'll be some pedant in the chat.
It's actually 50% negative physical resistance.
That is true. Yep. But who invited you? It also decreases the enemy damage, but the duration is just so low in Hell difficulty of all curses. I'm not sure, really. I missed out too much. So we're trying out Warcry. I'll be honest. It's as I expected. It is very, very mana expensive, but it's a lot more effective than I ever would have thought it could be. It's really pretty good straight off the bat. The trick is, of course, getting a really decent pack together. You can see us absolutely hammering that mana. It feels to me like much like a mid-nightmare difficulty switch to Blessed Hammer with a Paladin. You're suddenly like, wow, I'm doing so much damage, but your entire inventory is nothing but mana potions because it's so expensive at that early levels. This feels like, yeah, I don't know how you're meant to build the mana for this, but we'll think of a way. One of the ways we could try and do that is actually getting another Spirit Rune word, because we can dual wield swords, of course. Now, the Lidless Wall is helping us out with some mana and a level, but maybe the extra skill point and the mana we have from a Spirit Rune word could be even better. It will definitely be more than the extra, like 10% or so mana we get from the Lidless Wall, which is the shield that we're currently wearing. Now, the first thing I should probably be talking about is how good this skill is. Howl is probably one of the best skills in the entire game. How, or should I say howl, has nobody told me about this before. It's so good. To me, it's like, I would probably never play a Barbarian without this skill ever again. It's so, so good. Now, do you want to put 20 points into it? No. But a few levels in this, even one, and then enough like plus skill points, man, it just makes like getting through areas so efficient. I sprinted through this, and anytime I was like, "Oh, do I want to fight you?" Just shout, "No, get lost. Just come here. Go away." See, and it works. Absolutely beautiful. Someone in one of my previous videos mentioned the fact, it may have even been on my Discord, mentioned the fact they came to the monastery gate, which is slightly further to the southeast of the actual entrance to the monastery. But it is very, very cool that they put this in, like the official entrance, presumably for carriages and stuff. Although suspiciously pathless there. But a great detail. I mean, I actually love the detail that's been put into this area. I mean, I speak about the roof coming up a lot. Plague Warfare is not going to survive. Mana burn is one of those skills I really got to be careful of, because the mana in this, I should just call this the no mana run, to be honest. Because my god, we're going to be drinking. We're going to be drinking and we're going to be looking for drinks. Like an Irish lad in Saudi Arabia. I can see here I'm being a little bit wasteful with some of my skill casts. Really got to be preserving as much mana as possible for basically the most ideal packs possible. We want huge volume of creatures around me. One thing actually we should probably be thinking about is Fine Potion. One of the annoying things is I don't really have enough damage as it is. I need every skill point possible to be adding to the synergies of Warcry, but I think actually just a point of Fine Potion, and then maybe ultimately, because that's going to build into Grim Ward further down, we can enjoy ourselves with the potential damage buff from that. Cool little shrine there. I would normally have switched back to the classic graphics there, but alas, nobody wants me to do that anymore. Nobody at Blizzard. Champion packs. Glorious. Oh, look at this. It's Chris. Hey, Chris. Under normal circumstances, of course, I picked that up just to identify it, but I know that's going to be no good whatsoever. Annoyingly, a lot of those Warlock items are kind of built around melee character. Fine for someone who's got Wirt's leg in their hand, but not so useful for someone who likes to burst people's eardrums with screaming his own name. So the great plan here is to maybe have this as a bit of a safe zone. I say safe zone. Maybe just lure Andariel down there, where it's a bit quieter. Let's just run in. We'll use this as the like a bit of an exploratory session. We'll use these barrels here to maybe limit the amount of creatures that can get around us. And we'll see what kind of damage we're going up against here. I'm surprised at how much damage Andariel is doing here. I mean, this is hell difficulty, so she's going to be pretty well buffed. But the mother-in-law here, chunking in health. And that poison resistance is proving to be a little bit of a problem. We're losing about... Actually, it's maybe only like 50 health per tick. But Andariel is hitting me almost every time. Now look at that damage, though. We're actually getting through this. Unfortunately, I think the idea of being one and done with this is unlikely. We are going to run out of potions. We do have a very low... I mean, maybe it's just a question of running away and coming back, which is Jayden Brayden's preferred method of combat. It feels a little bit like a waste, to be honest, using these full rejuvenations. I'll be honest, they're easier to come by than mana potions, though. Because in hell, it just seems like a lot of champions have just got such a high chance of dropping those full rejuvenations. But this is very, very close. Wait, we can actually maybe do it. Oh, I don't think we're going to. I think it's going to be too close. We also need to make sure we've got enough health to get back. I'm just getting pelted here. Oh, this is bad. Okay, we are without potions. And now we've just got that poison. Use the barrels. Everything's fine. We're in control. We need to get out of here. We also haven't cleared any of these guys. Okay, let's just jump over. Nice. Oh, that's a great find. 12 health, 1 health, and we're out. Easy. Never a doubt. I've got nothing. I've got nothing. I've also got not really enough health to get out of here. This is really risky. 75 health and a dream here. Nice little maneuver. Oh, that's so irritating. So he was taunted, so I don't count that as a kill. That's a lot of gold to lose. Thankfully, gold is absolutely no worth. Doom Sludge here. Yeah, I was saying gold doesn't really have any value, but it's more of a vanity of how much we can collect. That's an irritatingly large amount to lose. These little camps, especially Bishiboshi's, DJ Bishiboshi's raves, are just so good for farming potions. So this little spot, it isn't in the best location. Ideally, we want it right next to the waypoint. But we can farm up nicely here. I mean, look, again, there's some decent rejuvenations there. There's a couple, of course, a couple of mana potions. Oh, lightning is really, unfortunately, not the one we want because we have that 29 already. But 30, look, it's an improvement. And actually, maybe for Mephisto, we'll need it. Pointless identifying almost anything else. It's so tough. You realize how bad most magic items are when you're so hamstrung by the limitation of limited scrolls of identify. So a few of these charms I've got, they're really not. I mean, some of this stuff. Why am I even carrying this around? Do we need a towel rune or a doll? It's so difficult throwing away things that are normally so hard to come by. And we actually find another Am rune, and that is pretty decent. Because that is part of the ingredients we need. We just need another sword, another 4-socket sword. I actually think with the amount of creatures we're killing, we will eventually get one during this run. But who knows? Who knows what's going to happen to Jayden Brayden? He is equal parts lucky and extremely unlucky at the same time. So, Doomskin the Dead. Now, I'm sure there's been a change to the RNG of creature names here, monster names. I call them hero names, but I always have to kind of stop myself. They're heroes, just in another faction. Fine potion. I get that with a view of eventually building to Grim Ward, but to be honest, it was far more useful than Grim Ward during this run. So let's just make sure we shout some obscenities at these guys. We've got a relatively clear area here. Be nice to actually get rid of this hero. He is unfortunately cold enchanted, which is just going to slow me down quite a lot. Temporarily, of course, but I don't really want to slow things down while I'm here. Oh, nice. Actually, the scroll of identify is one of the most valuable things we found there. This is why doing these kind of runs is so much fun, by the way. Who would have thought that finding those identify scrolls, especially the Tome of Identify, man, that was just, it was so good when we found that. So we've got a few potions here, a few antidotes, which help up my poison resistance. Hopefully we won't be taking as much as 50 damage per tick then, because that does add up quite quickly. This is going to take a while. It does look like we're missing every now and then. That little X that comes up in front of us is normally a miss. So I'm not sure of the best work. Well, to be honest, I am sure exactly how we can improve that, and that would be by using one of our I think it's Battle Cry, the skill, which reduces the enemy defense. But I'm so smooth-brained at this point. I mean, honestly, I watch these videos back and have the same reactions you do in the comments. Why are you doing that? Yeah, exactly. Why am I could just use it now. We'd probably be well on our way to Act 2. But sometimes you've got to suffer through yourself at your best and at your worst, and it's all learning. By the end of this, I'm like, man, I'm cracking through like 5-6 different skills in just a few seconds because it's kind of required. But unfortunately at this point, fresh out of having my brain professionally smoothed, I've got one rimple in it, which is just enough to press right click and occasionally press 1, 2, 3 or 4. Are we cutting it close to the potions? We are very, very close here. Oh my god, the last thing I want to do is have to run away again. Go away, Fallen. I think we've got it though. Yeah, and we've got enough with that potion. Could be pretty clutch. Oh my god, it's the last potion there as well. Incredible. So that's called planning. That's why I got one ripple put in to my brain, just so I could make sure that things like that happen. But that is a super clutch ending there. Not much, unfortunately, in the old drop front, but such is life. Who cares when you've got the best act? First thing I need to do is scream my way out of town as quickly as humanly possible. This is not where I'm supposed to be. So we're going to run. We're going to barge into that person there, knock him over. We're already wanted for barging with intent. And we can just maybe hang around. We can maybe hear Elzic's brothel here. The Desert Rain. All of this, unfortunately, is just completely useless to us. These trinkets have no value to a hobo who has no ability to trade. It's a shame because there are actually in, like Diablo 3. It feels like a swear word saying it. Don't switch videos, please. But Diablo 3, there are some like vendors in and around the land. Maybe in Diablo 4, but I actually have very vague recollections of playing that game. It felt like I was like drugged up while I was playing it. Warp Growler, nice. For those that haven't watched my videos before, Growler is slang in the UK for a woman's prickly desert bush. So it's great to see a Growler on the beach. There is actually a Sega Genesis / Mega Drive game called Soleil, where you see Sonic the Hedgehog on the beach. And for whatever reason, I got really reminded of that for a moment. I'll get a picture up now. It's a really, really good game, actually. If you want me to play that, then please let me know, because I would definitely be encouraged by other people who want to see it. It's a fantastic RPG. Now look, these sand maggots seem to be taking almost no damage whatsoever. I didn't realize they had such huge damage resistance. I'll put it up here. You can see on the bottom right, damage resistance of 66% on hell difficulty. So there's definitely a few things I need to be maybe slightly more studied up on here. But luckily these vultures, well, I was going to say, I probably actually misclicked then, because I definitely should have killed them. But Singrin there, nothing better than as the sun goes down on the beach, accidentally seeing someone Singrin. We're going to have to ID the coronet. You just never know. This could be big. Stick it in the bin. Great shame there. I've got to say, I'm actually quite enjoying the run so far. Normally, it's so stressful, especially when you get into the more challenging difficulties. But actually, we're having a pretty easy time. Some of these skills are incredible. Look, that's it. They're all basically disabled. The duration is so high on Hal. I've got my leap skill, so when you get the big boys here, just jump over them. The most irritating thing, I think, are the buffs, like the war cry buffs. The duration on things like battle orders is only about 60 seconds. So you'll see at some points in my life and mana just drop down massively. And that's because the duration of those skills has expired. And remembering in the heat of battle, or remembering where I'm going, is too much for someone who can only concentrate on one thing at the same time. And that is charging forward. This was probably where I was so overconfident at this point. Unfortunately, they were so jam-packed in here that I couldn't jump over them. Actually, maybe better than wasting all my mana here would probably be just to draw them out slightly, and they do end up leaving some gaps, but you don't really want to be left in jump into a gap that they leave and then find that you can't go either way. Because then you are kind of hemmed in enough and have to use some mana to get out. But let's not even bother with some of these guys. They're just going to be absolute mana sinks. Unfortunately here, once again, these little bends here can be a real pain. But we can basically thrust at this death beetle, and that's enough for anyone to be just utterly disgusted. Faint like a teenage Elvis fan. And his gyrating hips. Just Jayden Brayden, it really is the opposite of Elvis in so many ways. But what he lacks in he more than makes up in calf strength. So there's something there. Something for us all to be able to fall back on, I hope. Now, do we want to kill this guy? Yeah. I'm not sure. I started and now I'm not so sure. Let's get out of there. We are, unfortunately, still a bit poor when it comes to potions. So quite often, and I'm not going to show you every single time I do this, we get some absolutely mega groups together and then scream my own name like some kind of techno Viking rave villain here, just ruining the party. And then harvesting everyone's bodies for potions as well, which I do take great pleasure in. I want to say the actual skill find potion for a run like this is so good. I'll get into it a lot more. I'm not showing you all the time. I am using it, I promise, because once I realised how useful it was. It does feel a little bit like a cheat code being able to use war cries like this. The stun is so good. You could just basically run around getting rid of everything but the heroes. So for farming, I can see this being really, really effective. I don't know how easy it is to get this up to a really high skill level, but I can imagine with like +3, circlet or coronet, +3 amulet. I mean, these aren't too difficult to get with the right kind of gambling attitude. I find pretty much every run I can get my hold of them. Even by the end of Nightmare, I can get hold of, +6 skills in those 2 slots. If you were able to have maybe +2 on both weapons, like I'm going to have hopefully with 2 spirits, a decent ring, a Stone of Jordan. I always say this stuff, like any of this stuff is easy to come by. But we have found them before, so you can get this kind of stuff. And even just +1 skills and armor, which isn't, again, impossible to get. You're talking almost 11 skill points in addition. And I think by that point, the damage for this could actually be pretty good. If you could get this damage up to like 2,000, you'd be laughing. Now, one of you guys said, and it was a really great story when you share this, that one of you played the game and got stuck at the Dark Elder. It was just too difficult to kill. I'm doing this for you, brother. But yeah, please share your stories of how you used to play this game and some of the bits that scared you and some of the bits that you found really difficult. But I don't know of anyone that found the Dark Elder the blocker to wanting to play the game anymore because he was so tough. But what a great idea that that's even possible. It reminds me a lot of when I played Dark Souls 3, and I was such a Souls veteran at that point. I was like, oh, there's nothing that can challenge me. And I played against maybe the Dancer, and it was so difficult. And I actually gave up. I just didn't play. I just nah. I don't know why. Like, normally I've got quite a good attitude when it comes to things like that. Definitely a lot better now. But I was just like, I'm just not enjoying losing against this over and over again. Since then, I've beaten the Orphan of Kos on Bloodborne. On Bloodborne? Also in Bloodborne. And that must have taken me like 15 attempts. And every time I was like, doesn't matter, just keep trying. Eventually you'll bluster through. Look at this. That is actually a horrible bug, by the way. That's not the only time I was experienced that kind of like massive upwards thrust. But these guys are like glass cannons. You've got to be really careful of the snakes here. I was very grateful to find the way down here. And look, if you weren't sure about leap as a skill, that's all you need to know. It feels like most characters should be able to scramble up there. But we're not cowards. Let's just jump in. Let's jump in and see what we can do. Yeah, oh, that is fantastic. This is actually like quite a good build, to be honest. The issue we're going to come up against is the bosses. The Act bosses just have such big health pools. This guy does not excel against creatures that refuse to be stunned. But against these regular, everyday, normal guys, they ain't got nothing special on me. Let's polish my wand near the walls of town. We'll get some potions back up, and then we're heading through a secret tunnel, up through this rug, into the semen... oh my God. I was going to say semen-stained halls, which is hopefully the first time you've heard those words together, both today and probably ever. You see Deckard's been here as well. He leaves his soggy rags out. Stop, what the hell? Gloombang? Oh, wow, Gloombang. The amount of people who've come here have had to spend some time with Gloombang. Imagine all the lads here, the Yelp reviews. Just the biggest, muscliest prostitute you could possibly come and go, definitely going to be a Gloombang. Gloombang by name, Gloombang by nature. We're going to open that. Oh, and that's actually a very clutch click then. I can't remember what this guy's called, but he is hitting pretty hard. Fire Eye. Yeah, that kind of curse. And actually, some of you guys mentioned the fact that once curse hits, it procs on the hit that it procs. Oh my God. I was educated at university. That's all you need to know. Anyway, it applies to the hit that the curse was actually activated on. That's what I meant to say. How? Thal? we're missing a Thal. Well, at least we've got another 4-socket broadsword there. And part of me is very pleased that they're going to match as well. And now the Arcane Sanctuary. I'm hoping we could just... Oh, I want that Grand Charm. There's no room. I don't want to use the Thawing Potions. We've got it. Oh my god. And we've dropped all our potions as well because we've got no room. So we're going to just tease these lads out here. Give them a little bit of the old... Just up the kill action. Show them a bit of leg. And then scream my name as loudly as possible at them. The thing about Howl is it is very good, but if the creature's next to you, having been howled, it'll still hit you. A bit like creatures that are blinded. This has been a very efficient mission, by the way, but I do want to grab as much of these as possible. Let's get out. And this is when Leap really comes to its fore. It's so cheap as a mobility skill. And there's very limited ability for the creatures really to attack me. I've got such a lot of uptime. I'm basically fully up dog. What's up dog? I actually had to pause my recording just to let a laugh out then. So sad. So what a sad, strange little man. Yeah, we're gonna raid all of these areas because I'm sick and tired of not having any loot. I've just got such fond memories, as so many of you will know now, of finding Bone Snap in one of those chests on normal as well. And actually, Bone Snap will be still very clutch in this run. We do kind of need... I mean, I'm thinking we probably do need Crushing Blow. How we're going to get it, I'm not sure. We could actually craft some gloves. That is not the worst idea, but we are going to need some ingredients for that. If we find some of the ingredients, then maybe we'll make the magic happen. But we can use Leap here, because it has a little bit of like a stun. I think we'll take that ring. We've got quite a few scrolls of Identify here, so we can enjoy ourselves a little bit. They're a little bit like a biscuit in the evening. And nice, he's on his own. I think we can take him out. Let's scream him, that's what you get for wearing a dress. Let's get out of here. Love the backstory, by the way. In the previous video, when we went through like those mid-mission dialogue options for the summoner were so cool. And how he's like directly referenced in, like he went into the catacombs under Tristram. And maybe eventually went mad, we're not entirely sure, but super cool. What are we doing in this awful place again? Well, split your lungs with blood and Tholder. We're looking for the Thol rune again. Yet more rune searching. To be honest, I don't know what you guys feel about this. Sometimes I do like making these runs like super authentic. Part of it's for my own benefit. I mean, I don't make any money out of doing this. I do this for my own kind of satisfaction. And I really like chatting with you guys and hearing some of your stories and stuff. It's always nice to hear that you guys entertain. So I appreciate, honestly, every comment. Well, not every comment. 99% of comments. I really, really appreciate when you guys spend the time. Especially if some of you guys have like watched a few of my videos and haven't commented before. It's really nice just to hear. Because otherwise, how am I supposed to know that some of you guys have like watched a few of my videos and enjoy them, but just can't be bothered to say thank you once? Actually, go to hell. But we're grinding out here just to look for some more runes. And the reason why I was talking about all of that for the last minute is I would just be interested to understand if you guys really care about me having to like grind for stuff. I mean, look, this is the authentic Hobobarb experience, and I do want to do it once. But sometimes the idea of like grinding out loads of levels, when I know I could just like add 5 levels in a level thing, and I know a lot of the other content creators do that. I won't call out who does it, but it's pretty obvious. Like there's some of the guys like giving themselves waypoints and stuff. It would help speed up the runs. I don't fully like doing it because I hate the idea of it, because I think it would maybe cheapen it once I do it once. There's a few runs I have like up my magic find and stuff, and a few of them I have given myself charms to like help me like get experience quicker, because I don't want to like just add levels. I still want to like earn them, but I don't want to be spending like 5 years of my life doing it on ridiculous difficulties, right? But if you guys have got an issue or no issue whatsoever, then do let me know, because I'd be interested to get like a straw poll. If you're just simply not that bothered, then let me know. But if you think actually, like the great thing about the video is, or one of them is the fact that it's an authentic kind of run, and this is really the luck I have, and like none of that stuff's modified, then let me know. So Fine Potion, loving it. Fine Item, I've used it before, I hated it, and I will never use it again. Absolutely, it like adds another layer of disappointment to drops. Grand Charm, however, oh, it's completely pointless. There's a lot going on here, a lot of good stuff. Unfortunately, none of it we're going to be picking up. But the Tower Strip Club and the Countess got most of their tips stolen. I mean, this is all Deckard Cain's money anyway. He exploits them, but then ends up going and using their services. The man gets lonely. But level 73s, we are actually getting some experience. I mean, it's a real grind, but we'll get there. But we've got enough now to make our second spirit. Talthol, Ort, please don't have that wrong. Good, yeah, okay. I did have to check. And actually very decent. 35! Oh my goodness me, that's going to really annoy some people. Not super happy with the mana, I'll be honest. The magic absorb's pretty good. I would like that mana to be maxed out more than I want the faster skill. Cast rate. But yeah, that's almost two extremely good spirit rolls. Do we need this bearded axe? I mean, come on, am I ever going to use any of this stuff? I think Leap's fine. I don't think we need teleport, so I think let's get rid of it. It's tough to do, but I mean, annoying thing is you can't dual wield axes like that, so it's just taking up so much space. We are also, I noted there, not seeing anything of our wife anymore. I don't think she was real anyway. I think she was maybe all in my head. Some shadow of a long forgotten relationship. But without actually doing like any kind of physical attack in the traditional sense, it means it's not proccing that chance on hit. So we're not getting the Valkyrie spawn that we know has been so useful. I did at some points like try to switch weapons, try and get it to proc, but it's a 2% chance to hit, and I've literally 0 combat skill, so it was just not viable. Quickly get that in. Oh no. I think, oh no, I'm in town as well, even worse. So what the hell am I supposed to do now? I think I've dropped it on the floor. This is about as bad as it can get. The last thing I want to do is have to run through those levels and try and get those items again. We're just going to have to scream our way. Yeah, unfortunately, those heroes chasing me are unhowlable. How dare you? Says the dung beetle. I really like that joke in the one of the other videos about how finally the kids become a soldier. What kind of soldier, son? I'm a dung soldier, Dad. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, God. The long family line of steel scarabs ended with poor old dung beetle soldier. I mean, actually watching, well, I should say like half watching, half reading, because there's some good YouTube channels with that on. But a lot of like isekai started off as something weak and became stronger. Absolutely love it at the moment. And look at this. We're doing it. We're doing it. In all the time I've chat rubbish, we've managed to clear out the dross. Now, am I happy with current situation? No. He's immune to physical. We need to just leave. Let's pick up our cash because I don't want to lose that. Let's do what I should have done some time ago, which is grip that wood. I'm guessing it's activated. Fingers crossed. Honestly, the jewelry situation is bad, but we do find a +1 to skills amulet. I mean, that does actually put our... Actually, I mean, it's only... What is that? 42 extra damage? But it's... I mean, it's helping everything else. It's natural resists. It's all our other shout skills. It's battle orders. And this was, I mean, in a run with... It felt like almost no unique items. I'm having to show you my Tabar, which is not great. Standard issue dung soldier weapon, that. Level 1 dung soldier. Not level 100 steel scarab. Mafia boss. Let's scream the clothes off these women. Unfortunately, also take their life. What a horrible, like, display I've got around me of all these people. Hey, but the good news is they've dropped all their organs for me to harvest. Very considerate of them. It is quite frustrating that, you know, you can do all that. Oh, do you know what? For a moment then I was like, did I get a shaker in this run? I did not. I got a peasant crown. Basically all that I deserve. It's an interesting item, and this actually really prompted a conversation with myself. +1 to skills is great. I don't necessarily need the faster run walk. It does have a little bit of energy and vitality as well. Then I thought, well, do we want that lightning resist? We don't need that. That is technically going to be better than the Law of Helm. But then I thought, actually, Rock Stopper It's just got so much goodness to it. The only thing we're really missing is that +1 to skills. But the damage increase that I'm getting from it, where is it here? 971. Again, it's like 42 damage. But we're getting some actual fire resistance. I mean, we're going to need fire resistance almost more than anything. We've got it from almost no other source, it feels. One of the things you do really miss out on by this point is normally I'd have 2 Anya quests there, and that's 20% resist all. There's another, well, let's think, Den of Evil, Radamant, Izual, and that's 4. We would have had another 8 from the last 2 difficulties, and potentially win up to Radamant in this run if we've been able to do it normally. So we're 10 skill points behind where we should be. Let's stop complaining. Level 74, we found a rare ring as well. But we finally have enough skill points to get Grim Ward. So uses a corpse to mean everything nearby takes extra damage. It also slows quite significantly. So I'm hoping that, combined with Battle Cry, because it lowers the creature's defense, should technically up our DPS. So with a combination of those two, for those bosses at least that have corpses nearby, we should be able to do some more damage to them. For Andariel, for instance, that would have been really clutch. We persevered anyway. But hold on, something incredible's happened. Trellised armor. What is this? Is it Gladiator's Fleece? I'm gonna have to tease everyone. We definitely need some more potions. Let's just get through it. Bishy Boshy and the boys here. Bursting skulls open with my scream at this point. Can't be bothered. I probably will. Iron Pelt. So look, peace is kind of out anyway. We don't need half of the stuff on there. Damage reduced. Magic damage reduced. That's really good. Very decent defense. It has a little bit of extra life as well. But most importantly, it looks really cool. It really works with a rock stopper. It looks so cool. There's nothing on this really now. I mean, the cold resist, critical strike. I mean, none of that really. Come on. Do I just get rid of it? I think I have to. I think I have to. Oh, this feels terrible. No Valkyrie. We don't need her. We're moving on. We're moving on and up. She's just a shadow. A shadow of a memory of a woman from years ago. And actually, we can just repair that up because the durability is 157. I'm hoping we won't have to repair that for the rest of the game. We found this Grand Charm as well. 27 for life. It's good. Is it? I mean, actually, I'm holding on to one that's 25, so maybe we don't need either of these. I think it would be better to have 6 potions than it would to have that 50 life. We're only getting 50 life, plus maybe, I think, another 44% with battle orders. So for maybe like 70 extra life, it's not worth losing 6 slots for. Immediately find some more Grand Charms. It's like the game wants me to fill up my inventory, and absolutely pointless. So I'm not going to show you too much of the horrific journey. It is interesting that when the Halls of Pain, Halls of Vaunt, and all those other areas were terrorized, I was unable to go, which was quite frustrating. But we went around trying to farm up different areas, mainly just for variation. We were able to have a bit of a dance battle with these spiders, which I thought was quite funny. Although, even if I'm like mannered up without a rejuvenation potion, I can't maintain the speed of my spell, which is quite irritating. But we ran around as best as we possibly could, seeing what we could do, getting a decent like inventory full of mana potions more than anything. Gut Wolf here, badass name for like an anti-inflammatory indigestion tablet. Found maybe a potential we are going to lose that magic find, but we are going to get dual resist. It's such a shame that's not fire resist, that it's lightning resist. But it does mean maybe we could drop some of our lightning charms. And this was horrible to have to do. I just simply don't need all these. So we've got like a streamlined... I'm going to take that as Sol, actually. That's as streamlined as I can do. This is really, really tough, by the way, just dropping them on the floor. But we know from experience that the Duriel fight is absolutely horrific. Just testing out Grim Ward a little bit. Does seem to work quite nicely. It lasts for a very decent amount of time. But it's just a bit slow to cast. Like, contextually, it's quite slow. And actually, now up to level 78, we've got over 1,000 damage there, which is very cool. Feels like quite a significant break point to hit. We have a huge amount of stat points as well to spend. Dexterity we've largely ignored. I mean, maybe that was a mistake. I just feel like we're going to get the best return from Vitality. I regret not putting more points into energy, I'll be honest. It's all about building up now drinks cabinets worth of backup concoctions. The one thing I don't know is what's going to be the resource we're going to run out first. So I'm kind of guessing at this point what the kind of perfect ratio between health potion, rejuvenation potion, mana potion is going to be. Once we get into Jural's area, we're in trouble. Ice Skull the Cold here, who's immune to cold, but also Fire Enchanted, was brilliant. And look at this. What a dance-off. Low mana, yet he can always win a dance battle. Classic Jayden Hayden. What did you say then? Okayden Brayden. Barbarian. It is always a little bit annoying when you've just got one guy left, especially if he's as hench as this guy. Fortunately, he's super slow. I really want to go and find potions down there, but I'm going to like lure him away. Round the caravan I screamed over. Oh, there's always one, isn't there? And we're really looking for blues here. Oh, this is just... This to me is like a absolute wash. 1 full rejuvenation. It just simply is... If you don't get mana potions, it simply isn't worth killing anything. It's that mad. So we go back to Tarash's team. Now, I made a bit of a mistake here because I've been in and out of a few different difficulties. Tarash's team actually changed. Yeah. And fortunately with this one, we got one of the best rooms possible. Now this is like my backup. If we get him down to like 10% health and I run out of potions, that's just going to kill me. I drop everything. This is as prepared as a human can be. This is an unnatural level of preparation for someone like me. But we're dropping everything. We are kitted out. If I can't do it with this many potions and at level 78, then I tell you what, it's probably a skill issue that I have. But I don't see us having the luxury like we did in the Nightmare run, where we could kind of jump around a little bit, get our breath, and then chuck from a distance. We're just straight in. He's looking beautiful. Beautiful and blue. One of the keys to fighting Jeriel, for those who might have difficulty, is a thawing potion is just so important. That cold resistance makes a massive difference. Because not only the tick of the aura, but it's also adds damage to his attacks, and that's cold damage that's being added to every melee attack. And he does pretty much 2 hits every normal attack. He's attacking twice. So that damage can really ramp up. But if you've got some resistance, a bit like if you've got a little bit of damage reduction, each of these hits individually can really chunk your health. But if you've got damage reduction like we do in the Iron Pelt, then actually we've got so much more survivability. It's just annoying that with the mana potions as they are, they refuse to top up our mana. I've also accidentally clicked on the mana orb, which means we can't see exactly how much mana I've got. But the damage he is taking looks significant, and we've got a real, massive chunk of potions still to go. So I'm optimistic. We've also managed to remember to cast our battle cry as well. So he's got that debuff. So we're not seeing quite as many crosses on Jeriel as we were on Andariel, because his damage and his defense, more importantly, are lowered. Actually, to be honest, that damage reduction is probably pretty clutch too. Will I remember to recast it quickly? No, it's not looking good. But there we go. See, we're getting better at the game. You're watching it happen in real time. Jayden here, maturing as a fighter from humble beginnings. And actually having your back against the wall in this fight is quite important too. Otherwise you end up getting stunned back quite often, which can kind of interrupt you out of attacks a lot more often. Or at least the duration of the stun, I think, just seems a lot more prominent. Look at this. We're laughing. That was embarrassing. This is hell difficulty Jeriel. And look at that for drops. Incredible. I think even if any of those had dropped as uniques, they would have been completely useless to us. So, who cares? We've done it. Maybe I should take the plate mail just to identify it. Just a little reminder of some of the great artwork in this place. It is very cool. And actually, it's really important to stamp on as many of these mini Jeriels as possible, just in case. Otherwise, next time you come in here, you have to fight 400 of them. Look at this. I don't think I've seen that before. What is that? Like a little shield? It's like a real low polygon shield. And there's almost like a little statue there. It's that little idol. Look at this. For those with eagle eyes, a rat, a mini gharial, and a scorpion. It's a veritable smorgasbord for the entrapped. And you can cook them in the lava. He's had it luxurious. Well, I won't be going through there, unfortunately, my friend. I'll be climbing down the cliffs here and finding a different way. Swimming my way into Act 3. Not forgetting, of course, because there was always a chance. But let's collect our booty and get going. And actually finishing Act 2 there with a huge amount of potions, which is very nice. So this is the closest we'll ever get to the town. And look, we've got a fellow hobo. Maybe we could actually make a friend out here. Unfortunately, he looks like he speaks Irish, spitting something about Guinness and river dancing. And of course, you just can't trust other hobos. But if I can teach you one thing in this video, the only way to really become Hobo Prime and build a throne out of the skulls of your enemies is to scream them to death. Now, why I'm bothering fighting Flamecrow is just because I'm assuming he's going to drop the J figurine, and I can just look at it for a bit, because unfortunately we can't turn it in. But I will have seen by the end of this act the J figurine drop maybe 150 times. To give you some idea of what's coming up. Fortunately for you, you'll see curated highlights of all of this. But look at what's happening here. We're in the flare jungle already. Straight over their heads. These moist midgets have got nothing on me. I mean, look, this is actually going really well. I'm jinxed it completely. But they're not getting close. They're actually quite fast. Like, their movement speed is very fast. So when you shout them away, they actually disappear, which is really nice. You do have to be careful like there, because they will, if you walk past them, they will try and do a attack of opportunity. But fortunately, because they dissipate in almost all directions, we need to be careful. That looks like a champion pack, because they're not getting annoyed. Oh, whoa, a berserker. Soul Killer shit. That's such a cool name. We're going to have to kill him, even though that fire resistance is horrific. Let's keep on the journey. Wow, am I enjoying myself in Act 3? Okay, I must be coming down with a fever. I've got that jungle fever, boys. Significantly helped, of course, by the fact that I can skip most of the content of Act 3. So I'm confidently exploring these side paths in the hopes to find... Oh, the waypoint's good. That is good. Ideally, we want to find the camp, which is exactly what we've got here. So, yes, nice. Okay, we're at the dungeon already. Let's keep going. The only thing I have to remember, of course, is to keep buffing myself up. Keep pumping those pecs. We could just jump in the middle of these rooms. We can actually start looting. Oh, nice. Flying scimitar. Oh, that's cool that they've got some immunities on hell. I do wish there was a little bit more, like, minions with resistances. I know there are a few that... They used to be a lot more extreme, like immune to physical and things like that on some of the druid summons, which might be a little bit overpowered. But those, like, spirits that couldn't attack, to have, like, interesting things like that would be quite cool, I think. And now, look, we'll just get rid of them all. Get the brain. See you later. Oh, you can't park there, mate. Excuse me. Yeah, he's messed that. He's really messed that up. He's gone backwards when he should have gone forwards. Stormtree, normally, I don't bother with. Actually, I think I might still not bother with. He is so tough. Well, this damage is very decent, though. The only issue is I'm not attacking as much as I want to, because my mana is just so low all the time. And because he's got that mana drain. Oh, look, Jade figurine. I think Alcor was just giving them out. Like, free with every prescription. This is actually, like, a very cool place to be. Oh, look at this campfire already. And a large charm. Well, thank you very much. First class. Premium plus here. Complimentary continental breakfast. Yeah, this is great. Okay, so this is Very decent start. These are all treasure chests for those that know. And actually on hell difficulty, they have a very decent chance. What? Another one as well. Back-to-back campsites. This is brilliant. Oh, look at that shaker as well. Imagine if that dropped. The unique version of that would be something else. A little bit of cash. I don't even know why I'm bothering picking it up. And there's always an armor stand there, which is worth it. Maybe worth just having a check on that circlet. First, let's get rid of Pulse Wing. No, let's not bother. he's Stone Skin. Stone Skin have just such high defense. It's not even worth trying. And here's the route up to Middle Korast. Or the Korast Bazaar, as some noobs like to call it. But it's Middle Korast. So waypoint, not in the best location. I'm actually having a little look around in hopes there might be a third campfire little area. Okay, 26 to life. I mean, that's a lot better than the 14 that we've got on that. Don't know how useful it is holding on to a lot of this stuff. And a 70 mana ring. Nah, it's not worth it, is it? This is always like quite a nice spot, just as a stopgap. To come and just, I mean, look, the chances of me getting anything useful, I want to have a look at that. 2 socket. You could Amantir it for a strength rune word, but I don't actually have the requirements to use it. Oh, big Eth rune. I'm kidding. Of course, that's probably the most I can hope for in this place. But we're going to grind it anyway. I don't mind doing this, to be honest. It's actually quite good fun. It's a bit like playing a slot machine. You don't know what you're going to get. A little bit of cheeky experience to get what I want it. Actually, a Lem rune. Okay, Dreadfist needs to calm down. Oh, look at that. Another Jade figurine. And look, actually, with only like 2 more runs, we've got an rune. That's a very, very good drop. For someone who has a very, very difficult time getting runes outside of Hellforge drops, these are 2 actually very decent runes. Of course, I don't know, because we can't really Larzik any items. What would be fantastic is to just put a socket in our chest and stick the rune in there. But I'm pretty certain the cube recipe doesn't allow you to do that with anything other than magic items. So unique items will not be able to get a socket in without using that quest from Larzik. And all of this, unfortunately, is going straight in the bin. Oh, you know what? 8% life stolen is nice. The rest of it, and actually the attack rating isn't bad either. Not so lucky. Charm there either. Honestly, the key level and the scroll levels fluctuated between 0 and maximum. Actually, do I even need this belt anymore? Fast run walk, don't care about. The rest of it's useless. I'm just thinking the extra strength on that belt, you just never know. I'm getting a lot of strength. Is it trying to tell me something? We're going to get something pretty epic dropping. It's 3 slots though. 44 mana though. Ah, damn. That's pretty much like 2 more casts. Once we use battle orders. Oh wow, look at that as well. 19 charges. I think we can probably get rid of that. I don't really need teleport. We're having such an easy time of it. Massive Jade figurine drop there. Because they're normally the armor racks, because I just hit them so many times, actually end up giving me some pretty good stuff. But they were really poor in all of the runs I did in this video, which is a shame because sometimes you get some pretty decent stuff. Especially, I think it's almost like each armor. Whoa! Hold up. Best in slot. That is incredible. I think I might hold on to that. 7% magic find. Yeah, the armor shrines and weapon shrines have like a loot table, and I think by the time the map gets generated, they've got their loot table. Unfortunately, none of them had like barbarian helms. Otherwise, I probably would have done some grinding on those. Just having a look at the very sad. I mean, they actually look recently picked. I'll be honest, these bananas. And look at this for an inventory full of stuff. Now this is just going to be painful because I don't have a huge amount of scrolls. Just to be able to enjoy myself like this. Terrible, terrible jewellery. This is hell difficulty. Act 3. No good. Do we need faster hit recovery? That's actually not bad. For the right character, you can hit the right breakpoint with that. It's not bad. but it means it makes 1% difference, at least on the character sheet there. So probably not worth it. And can you believe it? They broke my belt. So my trousers kept falling down. And I'm really gutted I didn't get Star Wing there. Look at this belt drop. This is pretty good. Well, we need it because the belt is otherwise broken, right? My trousers keep falling down. 83 life on that belt. And the defense is pretty good too. So that's a nice little upgrade, I think. From the strength, really wasn't doing too much. And actually, once you hit Battle Cry, then actually they do, even the Stone Skin guys do take some decent damage. So it's worth pointing out that we've got a 2-socket scimitar in our second weapon slot. Actually, in our first weapon slot, but we're using our secondary primarily. Oh, and this is fantastic find. I'm basically on the way in the Countess to try and find something like this. Well, that is incredible. And very decent finding some more rails as well. Just helps to repair the equipment. You can see there the helmet not looking as quite as rock stopper as it always used to. Now, we're not actually doing Mephisto yet, of course, because we haven't got all the ingredients. We're on Nightmare. I just find when you get to like lower Karast, you can just calm down a little bit. You can go back and forth between a few different difficulties if you need to, because the map generation from that point on is pretty stale, pretty standard. Not too much deviation we need to worry about. We are going to lose, unfortunately, the 2 camps, but I think we've done more than enough farming. This took forever, by the way, and used so many potions, it wasn't worth it for the drops. I ended up doing it again because why not? It must just be a bad RNG. And of course, I ran out of potions, so it was a complete waste of time because I actually couldn't kill the guy. But finally, we've got our Amantir, which makes our strength rune word. The only important thing there really is the crushing blow. So against the bosses, that's 12.5% every time crushing blow procs. We'll be able to take 12.5% of the boss's current health pool away. So diminishing returns. Oh, nice little Gladius find. It's one of my favorite items in the game, to be honest. It's never too difficult to find, but Bloodlet is so cool. With the Whirlwind and Blade Mastery, having like 2 of these, which is not too difficult to get. Let's leave the Lidless Wall. But that Blade Mastery, I mean, it's a shame the Blade Mastery is rolled so low, but that gives us a really like decent boost to our attack rating for our primary weapon there, on the first weapon slot, which is that Crushing Blow. And let's just give Whirlwind a bit of a go. I actually quite fancy the idea of doing a Whirlwind run. It's such a good skill, Whirlwind. You can see it. It's just embarrassing. Like, what is he doing? This is big. It's going to be a Dwarf Star. It's going to be a... It's an Eagle Ring. I mean, magic damage reduced. It's not great. It's actually not a bad roll. Like, 27 is fine. It's not really what I was after at this point. Dwarf Star, Ravenfrost, those are the ones, you know, just boost survivability so significantly. So a lot more Countess runs, unfortunately. And we also find some foreskin on the ground, which is, is that a good or a bad thing? I'm not sure. But it's interesting how easy that set seems to be dropping. Like, already we've got 2 parts. Compared to most set items, we haven't really found that many. But the tears have fallen. But it's the Neff that I was looking for after all of that time and energy. And finally, my God, this took a huge amount of time as well to get the old gem shine. I'm doing this on normal difficulty so we can run around and just tell everyone the good news by bursting their eardrums and popping their eyeballs with my screams. So there's no room to do any of this. But the perfect ruby, I had to take it out of the cube just in case that didn't count. So vampire bone gloves, Neff, ruby, I'm pretty certain that's the recipe. It wasn't. I was missing, unfortunately, 1 key ingredient. What was that? A jewel. Easy, best place, according to the internet, to get jewels. We're back in Karast. Took us a long time, but eventually we got this bad boy. And what do we get? 8% chance of crushing blow. I think that might be max roll for crushing blow. It also normally, I think, gets some life steal. That's not great. A few other little bits and pieces. It's so annoying that we keep getting lightning resist. But overall, not too bad. Let's jump into the sewers and we can at least progress the storyline now. So all that crushing blow, the 25% there and the 8% get added together. So our 1/3 chance to proc crushing blow. The hardest thing really is going to be our chance to hit because we don't have any points invested in any skills that boost our attack rating. And our dexterity is generally just so low, so we've put no points into it. But it is at least a potential solution for the first and biggest part of the boss's health. Just a few procs, you know, even just 4 or 5 procs. I mean, what, 5 procs technically should get you down to 50% of the boss's health. It's very, very diminishing returns after that point. But from that point, we can start screaming again. We haven't actually done the spider forest yet, so maybe the first thing we should do is go spider dancing in this club. 104 attack rating. I mean, you can see why it just gets so difficult to make decisions. I probably do want attack rating, and 100 is actually very decent. Do I want to have another slot taken up for so much of the run? We could just be holding on to so many items that have utility in only a few circumstances. So I thought that was Zark the Burning there. I couldn't remember his name. I had a real mind blank for a moment there. Soul Skull. Oh, here he is. His brother. Soul Skull gone. Zark the Burning is super, super dangerous. But spiders really they have such an over-the-top stun animation. Like hit animation. They can't do anything. Look at that. We're just humping each other. What a great little combo of items there. No space whatsoever to be able to utilize it. We're in top Karast now. I'm just hardcore. Hardcore parkour. I'm really trying to show off my parkour skills here. Hardcore? Parkour? Can I get up there? I can't. I'm going to keep trying. Hardcore parkour?
I can't.
Parkour? Parkour? Oh, actually, that was pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, it's... Hardcore parkour was one of those cold intros to The Office that when I was living in... when I first moved to London, I watched it with my friend. And that was a good few months of our life. It's just every time we saw each other. Hardcore? Parkour? Now, an interesting combination of characters here. I mean, wow, we absolutely decimated that. This is Trav as well. This is incredible. Trav in Hell. You can see why people really like this character. I mean, a lot of people swear by it. Certainly with the right equipment, I can see this being extraordinarily powerful. We are unfortunately gimped by the fact that I have negative 100 luck. Every time I buy a Blizzard game, that's I'm contractually obliged to get the opposite to the caster version, which I have negative luck. Luck you'll find, unfortunately, is vastly improved by the amount of time you're willing to put into something as well. It's a shame we haven't got a kind of hero character here, an enemy champion. But we can at least test out our mettle against one of the council members. I'll cut that short because it took a while. But now we have him on a leash, following my tight ass. I don't know where that came from. But now we've got him in a tight corner with my tight ass. He's got some impressive, extra fast and cursed. It's terrifying. It looks like the lightning enchanted doesn't proc, at least when we're in this kind of proximity. Oh no, I'm wrong. It is procking. There you go. Nice. Okay, that's fantastic. What a dream this has been. I'm gonna have to make some room here as well. I would strongly suggest that we just charge through the remaining lads and just get through this. We can do that utilizing everyone's favorite mobility skill, leap. Now I just have to hold out, survive for 60 seconds. I mean, the combination, the utility that so many of these skills have. We can stun, we can howl them away. I am actually going to run back here. This is quite cheeky, but I'll run back and just pick up some of the potions here because there's so much on the floor. I don't really plan on coming back here ever again. Hardcore. And let's just mock them one last time with a few little parkour jumps. Maybe 360 in there. A little bit of a heel grab as we go down the stairs. And our primary goal here, I mean, it's very easy for us to get distracted by some of these larger groups. Because we have quite a decent... Oh, that's actually pretty dangerous having souls here. But then again, much like the Moist Midgets of Act 3, They're so fast that when you do howl them away, they just absolutely sprint. And I'm so glad it works against... I assumed there'd be some limitation, like it wouldn't work against undead. Pretty much everyone. Everyone that's anyone. The only thing I still need to be careful of is getting slashed by someone as we get too close to them. And a lot of the creatures on Hell have got such a high opportunity to do like elemental damage with their attacks. So for instance, a lot of these rogues do cold damage when they attack. I think the Fallen have a chance to do fire damage when they attack as well. All of these things just kind of like erode away your health. And the cold, unfortunately, is just one of those... The cold and poison is just some of those status effects that get very frustrating. But nice to us to be able to lure some of these bigger groups and just have a little potion stash here ready to go by the waypoint.
I can't carry anymore.
Endurance of Hate level 3. Honestly, I've had an absolute whirlwind of a time. Whirlwind of fun. Unfortunately, a lot of grinding for some items here. Whether they'll come in use, well, we're about to find out. But look, we've got our standard attack, unfortunately, and we're going to be spending half the time just hitting with that Gladius. Bloodletter, unfortunately, is going to be doing absolutely no damage whatsoever. But we need to have it on because it is going to help us significantly with that blade mastery. So Battle Cry there should lower his chance to... Whoa, look at the damage there. That is incredible. So that friends is 12.5% of Mephisto's health. And again, a little tick down there. So it looks like we just managed to chip him more away with some of these hits without proccing. I mean, wow, that damage is absolutely insane. So at a certain point, we need to kind of make the call. But the damage still looks pretty good. Maybe I switched too prematurely here. I think part of me maybe in the back of my head thought, a bit like some of these skills, like Static Field, they have a limitation within Hell. I'm pretty certain Crushing Blow doesn't, of course. But at the time, I wasn't thinking straight because I was Jayden Brayden. Are you serious? That is one of the easiest fights I've had for such a long time. What is that, Natalia's? That actually might have some resists on as well. Can't quite remember what Natalia's armor is like, but that is cool. Anything else you want to take here? Should we take the Soul Stone? Yeah, we should do. It's the right thing to do. Just going in there and teasing everyone. Use the wrong spell, like a cool dude, of course. So we'll leave Mephisto. Actually, we better not. We might still be able to use it. I don't want it being in town and be stuck there and us not be able to get it. That would be really annoying. But look, we're safe at last. We're out of town, so the run can carry on. Oh no, it's Huanin's Refuge. Oh my god, that's really annoying. Well, okay. 10% chance to cast Static Field when struck. That is cool. I did not realize it had that, by the way. You really end up like looking at items in a very different light. Unfortunately, it's got 86 strength requirement, so I think it's going to go in the bin. We're leaving it behind. But that is cool. Maybe for like I don't know, another passive run, if I want to do something like that again. I've done a run very similar to that before. My Pacifist Sorceress was a very, very cool run. I wouldn't mind seeing if we can get that all the way to the end as well. It'd be good to know, like, let me know in the comments, guys, if you've got runs that you really want me to complete. I don't know, having done this, I mean, look, this is very, very difficult for nearly all characters to get through Hell difficulty. Especially because you're just often under-leveled, under-geared. It's also very difficult, like, grinding levels and grinding gear with these characters. And I don't want to be like, I don't want to give myself either of those things. Oh, look, there he is as well. Big man, big blue boy, big blue bastard. More hit points than Diablo himself. It's my fun fact. And unfortunately, absolutely no point killing him whatsoever. One of the things I think that came up in the last run was, if I were to kill Izual and then wanted to get to Act 5, I would have to talk, of course, to Izual in town. And that would technically redeem the reward that I'd be for killing Israel, which would give me that extra skill points, which I'm not going to do. Because if feel that would definitely be cheating. And part of this, the fun of this run, is the emergent story happens because of the challenge, of course. So look, as I was saying, if there are other runs you want me to kind of complete or other ideas for runs, let me know. Because I'm always interested to hear. Some of you guys have got terrible ideas. Some of you guys have got fantastic ideas. And a lot of those ideas, I mean, look, I generally theory craft everything that you guys say just to see. Sometimes they're very similar to some of my other videos, so I'm less keen on like, oh, why don't you do this? Well, actually, I've kind of used that skill a lot in a previous video, so you have to watch my entire back catalogue to have any idea of whether I'm going to accept your idea or not. But other ideas, a few people have mentioned Diablo 4 as well. I mean, I know that's a swear word most places, but I've heard some very good things about the expansion. Story-wise, at least, the gameplay to me, I'm just not sure if I've got it in my heart. Let's just, I can't kill this guy. Let's just knock that shrine over, and that's going to really piss him off. But I think I can't think of a single rune that's going to be of any benefit for us whatsoever. Like ideally, if you drop like 2 high runes, then maybe there'd be a incentive for us to do it. But otherwise, I think we're just going to have to stock up on potions and go for the big D. Act 4 is one of those things I think they should have really approached in the new expansion and fleshed out a bit further. I know there's a reluctance to do stuff like that, but hopefully with the sales that they've seen, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, look, they've got such a massive marketing campaign behind the new Diablo 4 expansion. I'd be interested to know what the sales were of the new Diablo 2 expansion in comparison. Because ultimately it's going to be the bottom line that's going to make the difference. Problem with finding armor that's like 4 socket, that's okay. 408 armor on Bone Weave. I mean, that's huge. It's got a high strength requirement. I was thinking we could maybe put 2 hell runes in to bring that strength requirement right down. And then maybe put the rune in for extra resists. We could even put a Rao rune in there as well. I mean, I've got a lot of this stuff basically knocking around. The Lem rune, unfortunately, is completely useless. But it's such a high level for me that I'm not sure if I want to part with it just yet. Now, my great plan here is hit and run. No intention of sticking around here, getting cursed, getting my mana burnt away by those ghost boys. We're going to just run through it. Let's just quickly remove that curse. Let's get cursed again. Excellent. Let's just hit it. Hit the seal. Let's scare everyone away. I'm just going to buff myself a little bit. Weird little fluctuation there in the video. No idea what happened. Okay, it's going fine. Let's just hit and run. Get out. I just want to see if he dropped anything. Okay, and everyone has to stick around because they're all stunned. So good. Right, next one. Let's go. This could be an absolute speed run. This is incredible. We want a nice, quiet little... and this is fine. Do I want to kill these guys? Quite a nice little decent pack. I think while we've got them together, we could just quickly knock these guys out and then maybe find some potions. And unfortunately, Find Potion doesn't work on them. It's because they're undead, of course. But the weird thing is, on some undead creatures, it does seem to work. Skeletons, nothing. Cadavers, it does work. So a bit weird. Do we have him here? There he is. Have we got him? Hello? I'm not quite sure. I think we might have killed him. The ore is still up, so we haven't. There he is. I can see him. He's in exactly the same position as the guy I just killed. Now he's coming this way. Back here. The enemy champion is a real pain. It's the multi-shot. It's so tough. Let's just stun him into oblivion. Kill him. Grab his body parts. Let's get out of here. 2 down, 1 to go. This is going incredibly well, by the way. Not a huge amount of potions in the belt right now, which is making me a little bit concerned. But I've got a dream. Let's just clear them out. We'll jump into position. I think that is going to trigger them. Yeah, I can see they're down there. Infector of Souls. Okay, all we need to do is get him down. He's got multi-shot as well, which is such a pain with low fire resist. It's a mess. He is following me. Fortunately, he's got his cousin with him as well. Okay, well, that's him. This might be it. This might be the chance. We can stun these guys. Infectious souls. He's immune to physical. Immune to physical and stone skin. Oh my god. So we did it again. let's not slow down. This is actually the first guy we're fighting here. I thought, just in case he's got a higher chance, for whatever reason, a higher chance of getting those. Let's just get the Infector of Souls out of the way first. And we've just got to hope, pray to RNG Jesus that the other guys don't proc with immune to physical, because it seems to be potential. This is real pain. This is absolute pain. This. The mana isn't topping up quickly enough. We need to start using these. It's so annoying that you can't use things directly from the Heraldric Cube. He's actually almost dead. Let's just get rid. That's it. Grab, hit, run. We're out. Let's just put some of these in our potion belt. Maybe a little bit lower on potions than I'd like to be for this. Just keep running and jumping. The curse is really not great. It's just very difficult to top up my health. I've got such a big health pool with battle orders that these smaller potions, especially the ones that aren't the greater ones, or super ones, sorry. The greater potions just aren't doing anything. Barely scratching the side. Okay, well look, it's good. He's taking damage. It's actually quite quiet here as well. We just don't have the mana to sustain the damage. Without being able to cast it all the time, it doesn't matter. He's down. Don't overthink it. Okay, pray to the gods here. We just need this to be good. We're just going to jump in. Okay, this is it. He's taking damage. It doesn't matter. Even if he destroys us with that fire enchanted, I'm happy. Never a doubt in my mind. Now that, unfortunately, is not the hardest thing we're going to have to do today. That's what she said. This is a bit of a pro tip here. Some of these corpses don't seem to disappear, so we can start raiding them. Let's fill up the potion belt one more time. A lot of these guys, unfortunately, we won't be able to. There's a few here that we'll be able to. To be honest, I'm actually going to walk all the way around to the other side, because I'm pretty certain there are a few creatures killed where the Infector of Souls was. Oh, no, I mean, that's worth it already. Just one mana potion is well worth it. Oh, Bill's there. All right, Bill. What do we do here? I hate this part. This is one of the fights that really oh man, it makes me nervous. This is actually a very clutch shrine to have as well. We don't actually need it, do we? It's got such high lightning resist, but it'll make me feel stronger. So we've got Battle Cry to reduce his defense and damage. Straight in there, switch. I accidentally leapt because it's on my left mouse button. And let's see, we just need this to proc. We're missing, oh, two very, wow, okay. And that's like one proc from the weapon and then one from the gloves, I think. Because we still got that 8% chance on our offhand from our gloves. Okay, very decent. It's just deciding at what point we want to swap round. I mean, even with that lightning resist, we're still taking a huge amount of damage from that lightning. Not so huge that it's impossible. One of the nice things about the Barbarian is the health pool is always so strong. We've got well into our 300s, I think, in Vitality here as well. Okay, it feels like maybe at this point, much like with Mephisto, although he doesn't seem to be taking quite as much damage, we are going to have to reposition quite a lot. He's still got that debuff on him. You can see that little red orb above him. I think mana is going to be the bigger issue here. I mean, he's already down to the die of his name at the top, so we are looking good. Really got to stay out of that lightning as best as possible. Looks like I'm going to need to rebuff as well. Will I remember to rebuff anytime soon? I mean, it's a huge amount more. It's another like 900 health. Just for remembering to cast that. I mean, even when the health gets quite low and I get a bit panicked, I've still got over 1,000 hit points. Just a good combination. The best combination I found was topping up with mana potions when it gets really low to nothing. So as you're using it, top up with mana potions. It'll help it sustain it for a little bit longer, and then when you're down, hit rejuvenation to get straight back up. And that's the kind of cycle of potions you need to maximize DPS. But guys, it looks like we're doing it. It looks like Diablo's about to fall. He'd need a miracle at this point. We've got some miracle drops. Have we got any magic fine items? Let's put Nago. What is this? Luxury. Putting my magic fine gear on. We don't have a lot of potions here to mess around with, so we need to be a little bit careful. Also, our resists aren't quite as good. Oh, are you serious? Game, come on. That is atrocious for the effort that took. Always the point. 41% magic find. Honestly, stick it in the bin. But we're here, guys. Act 5. So staying in character for a bit longer in Act 5, I'm going to run back. It's because sensible, clever prophet Ezekiel here. A sneaky stash of potions just in case things went wrong. So like I single wagon wheeled all the way up the mountain here. Probably the most inefficient way of traveling up the mountain. But we did it. And we are now back where it all begun. Jayden Brayden's original home lies but a few meters away from him. The redemption story. Can he finally be welcomed back by his brothers and sisters in Herogoth? Or will it all be for naught? Well, firstly, we're going to abandon that guy because he should not be fighting at his current strength and aptitude. But it's nice to have a few little distractions during the siege. So we can do the important job of jumping our way through all of the content here to get to the ancients really as quickly as we can. Normally, there's the only other stopgap for most characters here would be getting to that first waypoint and maybe doing some grinding of those mobs there. I mean, is it worth us breaking the siege here? I don't think it is. I'm not going to bother. Well, okay, they were very, very fast. But this first waypoint, very nice. Very nice. We're going to save an exit. Let's just have a little bit of fun here. The archers are going to ruin that fun immediately. I think the skeleton archers here, because they've got fire arrows, pretty much hit every time. So their DPS is through the roof. But so's mine when I get angry enough to start shouting. So cast the debuff on them. I don't think it's really worth it, but we should hopefully at least hit them more often with a skill. Well, even, can you believe that? A little grim totem there. For those that think I'm... For those at this point in the video, I'm like...
He hasn't used it once. I can't believe it.
I did use it every now and then, but it's just a pain to have to switch, to be honest. Switch skill. Yeah, but the drops, unfortunately, from the rectifier, very bad. So I lost hope. And look at this little kind of burnt-out homestead. Jayden Brayden here having to relive some painful memories, I think. And here's his trapped brothers. We're going to have to save them, I think. We can do some murder on the way. But the prison door screamed down. And we'll quickly run away before we have to make conversation. Maybe poignant part of the redemption story of Jayden Brayden. Killing Sharptooth Slayer, the imprisoner. Unfortunately, you can't jump through these or over these walls. They've got little spikes on top. So you're not brave enough to do it. But with enough choice swear words, we can get through. I was feeling a little bit overconfident at this point. Trying to kill Casey Ryback. The only issue is the skeletons. They hit pretty much every time because of that fire arrow. So you're much better off just ignoring the situation. And look at this little choice waypoint here. I'll come down because it was really annoyed. I started recording. Well, I aimed to stop recording, not realizing I hadn't started. It took me ages to shout these barricades down. So I just want to give you a moment of how long it took. I think about 3 or 4 mana potions later. Absolutely miserable. The doors, thankfully, were a little easier. I was able to hit the guys on the other side. In many ways, I wanted that door to last a little bit longer. The nice thing about these guys is, even if I do have to shout them down, I can largely ignore the dross. the chaff, and then I can come back and pick the bodies clean of anything useful. Annoyingly, if it's not mana potions, I actually get quite upset. Thresh socket. Thresh socket is actually too big to fit through the hole, so we're going to big brain this and just ignore him and hope. Actually, okay, these guys should be fine. If we can get them up against the wall, I hate saying that, but you know what I mean. Oh, nice. That's good. Good drops. Crystalline Passage. We're not going to do Anya, of course, because there's no benefit whatsoever of saving a stranger without reward. What we can do is pick these bodies clean and get ourselves prepped for the penultimate challenge here, the Ancients. A little bit of a journey before we get there. So I think let's just sprint through these guys. I don't see the great benefit. Wasting too much mana, just trying to hope for the best. Oh, this champion pack could be pretty good. It's just getting them in the right position. Whoa, there is some damage there. Who's that? I think they're just champions as well. Nice little waypoint find here. I think let's just count our blessings and get out. Oh, I think it's that Flame Tongue, was it? There's a few little notable characters here. Bit of a notable character convention going on. Some kind of enemy champion support group we've interrupted. Infidels! Sorry, I should be a little calmer towards the end of the video because I know some of you will be asleep by this point. The infidels are coming. Hopefully that's part of your dream. I used to really hope that you could whisper to people when they were dreaming and then like slightly influence what they're dreaming about. But every time I've done that, I've just woken them up. So, you know, all part of the fun of having children, right? I'm kidding, of course. I sold my children as soon as I got them. I don't think I've got the emotional fortitude to identify any more rings during this. Oh, look at this as well. That's a very short route, so let's take the blessing as it's given to us. Okay, some interesting packs here. These blood temperatures, I actually don't think are going to be very good. The only issue is... Oh, look at this. We've got to get in here. Come on. Ladies. Prepare to die. I will not... Jayden Brayden is not tempted. He's too focused. Besides, he can only think of one thing at the same time. It's hard enough with all these skills to cycle through. A little bit of a respite here, even though it looks very busy around. But there's a lot of guys trapped behind the wall up there, so we can take a little moment just to recuperate. Just what an epic journey up to this point. I keep feeling in the back of my head that I'm a bit worried about the journey actually coming to an end, I'll be honest. A little bit like Golemdad. Golemdad was very difficult, so I felt like there was a very strong vindication by the end of it. But he's still such a staple character, I kind of keep bringing him back. Just because golems are just like iconic anyway. I kind of wish I'd called my channel Golemdad, to be honest, but you live and learn. There's a palpable feeling in the air, a scent of muscly men in the breeze atop this mountain. It's wafting through the grills. Just follow the scent at this point of broccoli and chicken protein shakes. I used to lift weights more often than I do now, which is now almost none at all. I just don't have the time more than anything. But I have found time to start running. And I tell you what, I remember reading once that weight loss is much easier with lifting weights. For whatever reason, that's the advice I got. That is not true at all. Please don't ever take that advice. Right, here we go. Look, this is just going to be RNG. We just got to hope. We don't want mana burn. We don't want stone skin. We don't want immune to physical. We don't really want them to have anything, if at all possible. I can't read that at all. Is this going to be... Okay, I think I saw a stone skin there. Stone skin, mana burn. Literally the worst combo. Okay, there is also an aura here, which I'm not that pleased about. See if we can maybe get one or two of them. Oh, the mana burn is the only one I don't like. 2 stone skin. I'm out. I'm not messing around. Let's try this again. Right, come on, boys. Give me something good. Let's do the old classic runaway. Whoa, someone's quick. Oh, he can actually hit you through that. Wow. Okay. He's a airbender or whatever it is. What's that movie where they put the bullets around corners? It's so bad. James McAvoy, I think, and Angelina Jolie. Someone will know it. I'm not looking it up. I'm concentrating too much. As you can tell, I'm trying to work out what skills. Okay, here we go. Cursed, extra fast. Okay, the cursed is a pain. Ouch, ouch. I'm out. It's just too much damage. I'm gonna use too many potions. Okay, oh God, I can't see. Okay, stone skin. I think I saw another stone skin there as well. I can only really read it when we're in the shade. Let's run around a bit and we can maybe get a little bit of. This is the problem is they feel like they're all extra fast. I'm just not making any distance here whatsoever. So this is one of the better runs I had. As you can tell by the tone of my voice, was not successful. I was, however, able to use up all my potions doing it. So Talik, I actually felt Talik was going to be one of the hardest guys here. But he ended up being one of the first to fall. One of the first of the gang to die. But Corlic, man, it was just not going to go down. Just an absolutely insane... I don't know what it is, like, Crushing Blow just doesn't work with Stone Skin. I'm guessing Stone Skin gives you, like, high physical resistance as well. So even if I do hit Crushing Blow, for whatever reason, the damage is mitigated. So we're back in the various camps. This was actually one of the best little areas I found. I say little areas. It's not like I repeated this often. I just hit this little area once, and there was a huge amount of people leaving a enemy champion support group. So we absolutely destroyed them. Mana burn, stone skin, we're out. Okay, I think this looks okay. Fire enchanted, extra strong. I don't love. Be really picky here, guys. It's just such a pain to have to farm potions. So I've got to make sure when we get the roll on all of these guys, it's going to be good. We want something like teleportation or something absolutely useless. So we're trying our best here. Great view, by the way. Absolutely love it. We're trying our best just to separate the group here. We only really want to fight them one-on-one. Of course, these guys absolutely love each other. There's like 3 in the group, but 2 of them really get on better than the others. Okay, this could work. Mana burn and extra strong. Those are 2 that I don't like. However, I'm also not liking that conviction aura it is. So we're going to do a little bit of crushing blow, and then we're going to just scream our way, hopefully, to victory. You can see how many potions I'm getting through here. I mean, I'm speed it up as much as I can because ain't nobody got time for that. Except for myself. But I think we've got him, and this is a very, very decent start to the fight. Now, he has shouted. He's going to have quite high defense. Oh my god, that is insane. So he's lightning enchanted, and he's aura enchanted, and that is... Oh my god, that's probably a lethal combo, isn't it? We actually really don't have enough healing here to get through this. To be honest, we don't really have enough of anything here to get through this. Maybe we can just try and get some good crushing blow hits in and see if that makes me feel any better about this. Oh no, it doesn't. It doesn't. The thing is, we do actually have a very relatively decent lightning resistance, of course, but it's just taken down to almost nothing. We're taking so much damage. This was another attempt. Call it here. Extra fast and cursed. I'm sorry that's so difficult to read. But blame the makers of the game, not me. So look, the damage is actually okay. We'll speed it up as much as possible. This looks like a good run. I have kind of semi-scouted the other 2. I think it's okay. We're going to stick around here. We're going to restock the old belt. We're going to wait for the curse to die down, and we're going to get our mana back. I didn't want both of them. Maybe it's still worth just running away. Talik is just such a... He just instills such fear in me. The Whirlwind is just so powerful. So this could be good. Oh, we've got them both. If you can get Talik to kind of whirlwind in the opposite direction of where you want to flee to, I say flee, tactical retreat to, then normally you can get him to lose aggro. So teleportation, fantastic. The lightning enchant here isn't doing much because we're in that kind of perfect position because it spreads out from the enemy in kind of like a cross pattern. Yes, very good. Okay, this is big. I'm actually going to sit and wait here for my mana to come back in case that's the difference. I'd hate that to be the reason why we lose. Just the tiny bit of mana left at the end. So next up, spin to win. We've got him cursed. We're using our swords here in hopes to get some... Oh my god, that's like 1,000 hit points. I just actually can't remember. I know there's a spot here somewhere I've used... I think it might be here. Where he won't... Oh, it's not here. There's a little bush or something. I can't remember where it is. And once you hide in it, he doesn't whirlwind you. I can't remember what run we found that in. I feel like it was a mercenary only run, but we've used it a few times before. Is it here? Have we done it? We haven't done it. This is bad. We're taking just a lot of damage here on something I should just know. Where is it? Let's just... We're going to go for it. He is taking damage. Is it going to be enough? We're out of health potions. We are actually hitting quite often. Okay, we've got 4 more. The problem is every time he hits me, it's 1 or 2 that he's taking off. Oh my god, it's getting close. No, no, not like this, please. Down to 1,000 life. It's annoying that he's got that extra... What's happened? I'm stuck! Oh my god, the game got literally caught on his statue there. Right, I think we're just going to shout him down. If we can keep him stunned, then hopefully he won't just pick us up and just throw us off the side of the mountain, which I'm sure he could do. It's going to be close. It's going to be close, but I think this could be it. The stun is enough. Again, he can't whirlwind us here. Yes, and he's nothing compared to the muscle might of Jayden Brayden. There's only room for one muscle boy on the top of this mountain. Actually, to be honest, I'm going to get off the mountain so you guys can have it. And look at that. Absolutely disgusting. Sliced his cock off in anger, in passion. Immortalized forever. That is a huge snake, though. Gotta admit. Well, I actually stumbled over my words then. We actually got level up from that as well, which is cool. Level 80 is very nice. I'm gonna probably... don't hate me for this. Blade Mastery. I went for Blade Mastery. Whether that's a good idea or not, I'm not sure. I even put some points into Dexterity. I actually think, at this point now... I mean, look. I actually incorrectly described... Oh my god, this is absolutely mad. Thankfully, Hal is just so ludicrously overpowered that we can still kind of run around and be okay. I say okay, I'm taking some hits, but nowhere close to what I'd have to do with almost any other character, right? It makes me think that maybe Terra, is it? With the Necromancer could be pretty clutch. I may have used it before and had a good time, but this is just incredible because it's so quick to cast and it's all around you, rather than having to be like in a concentrated area like a lot of the Necromancer curses. Real battle here. We'll stop here. Actually, this is a pretty decent group. Taking some damage. We need some potions, and that looks like a very... Look at that, it's just cleared out massively. Yeah, like I was saying, I actually think the real challenge now, rather than me incorrectly saying that the Ancients are the penultimate challenge, because we do have Bale's minions, and then we've got Bale himself. So we're now coming up to the penultimate challenge. I actually think we should be okay with the skills that we've got. My big worry now is Bale himself, whether we have what it takes. And look at this incredible, like a rare seed here. All of these like frenzied ice spawns in champion form. And to be honest, the whole level was absolutely covered in like heroes, enemy heroes, enemy what do you call it again? I can't remember. Enemy champions. And look, this is weird because I was like, oh well, I definitely won't be able to get any potions from this, but you can from the cadavers, even though they're technically undead, which is a bit weird. So I'm not sure if I just don't understand that. Look at this. Hero slain. The annoying thing is, because they explode, you get no experience, of course, and you can't search their bodies for potions. But look at this hero after hero. This is very cool. It does feel a little bit like a player-made level. Someone on my Discord actually mentioned Project Diablo 2, which I've never played before, but if you've got ideas of other runs you want me to try out, especially in like games in and around Diablo 2, of course. I've not really played that many mods before. I'm tempted to go back and play some more Diablo 1 mods. I've not done Hell 3, is it? And I can't remember the name of the mod that's got all of the quests in, and a lot of extra content. Look at this little bugger here as well. Unfortunately, he was pretty much immune to my attacks, so I had to just leave him. He will prove a significant character later on. Look at this, just a little bit of cash lying around. It's amazing how many areas actually have cash on the floor. A lot more than you realise. You can largely ignore all of these groups, right? I think even if we were to die and have to run back, or even just have to like farm up some more potions, which is a high possibility, it's not impossible for us to get through that pack, even with no equipment, because we can still shout just as loudly. And the one thing they don't like is being shouted at. These are like borstal children. A borstal might be a UK term, but it's where naughty children go. I mean, violently naughty children. Like I've just killed someone, naughty children. So there's some great films on in and around borstals, which are like very English. One of them is called Nil by Mouth, which I think at some point had the most swearing of any movie. And I once played a drinking game where you had to drink every time they swore. I didn't last really past the opening sequence, to be honest. But it was so funny, especially because I was maybe at the age when I saw it when swearing was still just made you laugh because it was a bit naughty. So we've got a few okay guys. These infidels are kind of okay. They can pack a punch, especially in hero form, but they're much like a lot of those larger creatures like spiders. They get stunned very easily. And like we can actually enjoy ourselves now. I'm hoping that these corpses don't disappear. No, that's good. There must be someone else, maybe at the top somewhere. We do still have a few of those ghouls outside, unfortunately, because they're just natural physical resistances. Makes them such a pain to kill. I'm just going to ignore them. They don't do that much damage with the fireballs. We're getting a little bit of mana locked here. I don't really want when Bale laughs all these corpses to disappear. I don't know if that is necessarily true, but let's not risk it. Get the extra potions while we can. Ah, look, it looks like it's fine. Oh, do you know what? I'm not looking forward to this one. Let's just get stuck straight in there. Unfortunately, we don't have Cannot Be Frozen, but it doesn't look like that's really impacting our attack speed there with the shout. These guys are pretty physical immune. Not immune, sorry, they're like resistant. It's going to be harder and harder for me to talk coherently because of the stress of this entire thing. We got rid of the main guy. Unfortunately, he's poisoned us. And yeah, he's a very potent poison. That's Andaria level. I mean, I'm taking 100 damage. Is it 100 damage a second? Poison resistance, not a strength of mine. Has never been in any run ever, really. I'm still waiting for the game that makes you, requires you to swap equipment. I think Path of Exile 2 is a little bit more like that. But they've dumbed down a lot of the bosses that were really tough. Because I like the idea of being like, I'm not going to be able to do this unless I farm for a bit. Get the right equipment. Like, this guy's pure poison or whatever. Let's get some poison resist equipment in. Then I can tackle him. But I had to do that a lot with some of my challenge runs, just because maybe the damage I do is so low compared to a normal Path of Exile 2 run. It's a great game for that. Great game for the challenge. I hope they lean more into the challenge. A lot of games just insist that everybody should be able to do everything. And no, a lot of content, to me, should be locked behind skill. But that skill should be natural enough for most people to be able to get to. With some perseverance, of course. As suspected, we are very thirsty. And our thirst cannot be quenched with our current drinks cabinet. So, to do this soul's, honestly, absolutely horrible. But this was actually a little bit of I don't know if this is a bit of a cheat. But you can find potion on all of these guys. So It's a shame there's not like a hero pack here, because then we can have a real like massive supply. I don't know what. I still absolutely hate the way that looks. Really special day at work. that day they had to animate that. But a solid little potion farming spot for me. They actually, I don't even know what the term is. They're ejaculated frequently enough for me to be able to just wait a little bit, get a few of them out, and then... Oh no! I actually think that's because too many got splurged. The sack was drained in front of my eyes. Nothing, no drama here whatsoever. No great danger. Actually, lightning resistance has come in quite clutch, because they are normally really unpleasant. The survivability of the barbarian makes them, to me, like quite an easy class. I actually found, like, I find the barbarian very difficult in terms of DPS. This is probably one of the few builds I've ever got to that's I feel is very strong. The whirlwind barbarian to me is like chef's kiss, because it's fun at the same time. I once did like a berserk barbarian. I think it was mainly just berserk. The idea was to do the ubers, but that, like, oh my god, the idea that your defense drops to 0 is just so bad. I hate it, and it was really, really poor. I was getting absolutely destroyed, so I didn't enjoy that whatsoever, because I wasted loads of time leveling the character as well. But yeah, the war cry is actually very viable if you've got the right equipment. My biggest general issue with Diablo 2, especially like the ladder, is there's no point doing anything other than a sorceress as your first character. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but the sorceress is just so good. Like, you can immediately farm, you teleport around with absolute ease, and then you basically, like, whatever character I want to do, I'll do it after I've got my sorceress on the ladder. You can actually get me some equipment. But there's no point trying to get equipment as any other character, in my opinion at least. But I'm not so happy in ladder games to like grind trav and like just do the same thing over and over again. At least with the sorceress you can kind of go from boss to boss. So I skipped past the fact that we had Bartek the Bloody there. Easy. Fortunately, Ventar, not so easy. He's got that multi-shot. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to lure them down. They seem to be pretty speedy boys. Hopefully there's going to be enough traffic here that kind of get caught up on one another, and we can... Yeah, okay, that's perfect. We can just howl them back down that corridor. And here we go. We're with the dinosaurs. We're pretty speedy too. Unfortunately, these guys are extra fast. This is almost... Of all of it, I'd say extra fast is probably the worst we could have hoped for. Because we need to lose them in the tunnels, in the back rooms here. I tell you what, I am quite excited about that Backrooms film from A24. Time will tell. We'll see. I really like Kane Pixels. I used to watch quite a lot of his stuff and just like chill out and enjoy it. But yeah, absolutely loved it. I love that kind of stuff. I would like to do some more like survivally. I don't mind horror games, to be honest. I think they're quite good fun. Whether a lot of what I do is not live reactions. I'm kind of watching this with you. Just going to pause for a moment because I'm just not sure. Now that he's laughed, are we good? I'm just desperately hoping he's going to walk into his room there, to his boudoir. But at this point of the video, I know most of the people watching are either asleep or they're my OG crew, the kind of guys who actually are interested in listening to me rant about stuff. But there are a few different games I'd like to try. I mean, I don't want to limit myself too much. I mean, I love this game. Don't worry yourself too much. I'll always be doing Diablo 2 runs, but I do need to mix it up just for my own sanity. Especially when you do like an epic one like this. I don't necessarily need to play this game for a while. What normally happens is someone just gives me a good idea and I'm like, I'm back in. That's such a good idea. I'm back in. Now we have one dinosaur here that we're going to have to fight. And this feels like an absolute waste of resources, but is that infidel down there going to get in the... He is. He's going to be an absolute pain, isn't he? He's coming. Oh, do you know what? Well, at least everyone. This looks like everyone that was in the room. Hanging around, trying to be the hero. There's only one hero in this story. That is just the kind of laugh I like to hear. Now, unfortunately, when I get into this room, it's over. And I just don't know enough. This is not enough. We've got far too many healing potions. and almost no mana potions. And there's no way we're going to be able to do it with 2 mana potions. Oh my, we're going to have to go through the dinosaurs. We're going to have to run through everyone. Yeah, we're going to have to. Are we? Oh my god, this is horrible. Are we? We're going to go back. We're going to have to. I'll skip past a lot of what you've already seen. There's a great book by the popular philosopher Elaine de Botton called The Pleasures and Sorrows of Work. It's one of those books that really stuck with me just because oftentimes he's describing what to many people are just their job, but to him he just can't understand why they do it. Anyone who watches these videos and says, yeah, but what, when your wife comes in and says, what are you watching? You try and explain it. Why?
I can't carry anymore.
Yeah, exactly. She's right, by the way. So look, a lot of this stuff we're not going to need. I don't believe that Bale does any fire damage, at least not consistently enough. So we can get rid of a lot of those. We'll keep a lot of the lightning just because I need to be able to get through those souls there. And this is it. We just got to try not to take too much damage here. I mean, any kind of chip damage we take here is potentially going to put us in a really bad spot for Bale. It looks like we've... Oh, nice. I think the thing is they just get caught up on one another because they're... I don't want to say it, but they're a little bit overweight. The BMI is not looking good. This is it, guys. We're at the very end. I honestly can't believe it. This is the conclusion of the story. We've just got to beat this guy. The damage is insane. He's doing... I mean, oh my god, and these appendages. Let's just leap past them. The mana burn there is really unpleasant. We need to reposition ourselves to not get appendaged. That's a decent... Oh, these are two very decent crushing blows there. Battle Cry there is, of course, reducing his defense. Bale on Hell has a very, very high block chance. I think the highest block chance of anyone in the game, other than our esteemed hero, potentially, right? But it's about 55% chance to block. And he has, of course, a very high defense anyway. So every time we're seeing that little cross, there's a very good chance that could be his block chance, as well as his general high defense. We are getting frozen quite often. That is an incredible skill use by him. Absolutely surrounded. Oh my god, yeah. I think we've got to get out. And then, of course, I could try and dodge it and get clipped. Oh my god, this is awful. And, of course, he jumps back into his little barrier. It's like a player-controlled boss, this. Keep our battles up. What do I do? The slow is just so painful. We are not hitting this guy with any kind of consistency. I think we're just very lucky at the beginning not being chilled. But that cannot be frozen is so important. And we just don't have it. I mean, there are options for cannot be frozen. But, oh my god. We're here now. We've come so far. And we're getting appendaged. And it's hitting so often. My Iron Pelt, it does nothing. I'm less bothered about the bloodletter breaking there. I can see in the top right. But it's health potions. I had no idea it was going to be that. I thought we'd be able to stun this guy into oblivion with war cries. But we need to get him down. You know, we need to get him down to at least like 45%, 40% health, really. His health pool is so high that if we don't get him down to there, it doesn't matter how many mana potions we've got, it's just not going to work. Just struggling. Oh my god. His mobility is also a real pain. He's cursing us a lot. And that curse, I believe, is lowering our defense. Which is why he's hitting so consistently. And it's not small hits. I mean, he's hitting pretty much every time. And when he's not hitting us, he's ruining our mana pool. I'm less bothered by that because we've got quite a decent supply here of mana potions. But we're almost out. I can't believe it. This is not the way I wanted this to go. I really felt like I was well prepared for this as well. We had such an easier time with Diablo. This guy, he's just got so many tools in his spellbook. And the biggest worry here is it's going to go on long enough. He's going to summon his brother as well. I mean, the appendages, all of this is just slowly ticking my health down. I'm actually debating if this is possible. I mean, I suppose you could just corpse run 15 times. But I mean, I've prematurely come in here with the shout. The shouting is just not working. And look, we're doing damage. I mean, it's not like the damage isn't there. It's just, it's not enough. And we are out of healing potions at this point. We've got our 4 rejuvenations, and that's it. Like every single hit, it seems from Bale is landing. These fields of appendages. It's like a gay holiday camp. This is unbearable. I mean, to be honest, the music would be better. And this is, oh my god, this is so bad now. Maybe if we just, I don't know, get the right angle. I don't see this happening, guys. Feels like we've just come so far on the journey. This is absolutely crippling. I'm going to have to go back and see if we can land some more crushing blows. There's one. I mean, that single crushing blow there probably did more than all of the war cries. Oh my god. And with 2 of them, I mean, it's just... I mean, there's more whipping tentacles here than Epstein Island. This is just... Oh no, we're out. We're out. What are we supposed to do? Just hide here. I'm going to go and just steal all of his gold in the corners. This is not the way I wanted this to go. And this is so much tougher than I thought it was going to be. I mean, none of this is going to help us here. We don't even have any, like, general regeneration. So I can't just, like, duck back here. We're just going to have to go for it, guys. One last empowered barbarian attack. The spirit of our journey. In one last final assault. Through frost, through flame, we will fight him. At the end of our journey, we'll fight him with everything we have. For redemption and for forgiveness. I walked alone from godless thrones to sleep beneath the stars, to quiet all the voices that had driven me so far. I crossed through dust and desert storms, through swamps and fields of rot. I saw the broken kingdoms that the world itself forgot. I learned the skills required to survive my time alone, while the ghost of you walked close behind, still heavy as a stone. I carried all I could to keep this broken man alive, but the burden of your absence was too much to survive. I held the spirit of our love inside my battered head, but I couldn't hold to anything but the final words we said. The day I saw our house in flames, our life reduced to air, I found the world had ended when I found you lying there. I wore through boots and armor, choked by rust and dirt. I made my rest in nature, and I learned to hide the hurt. My body broke beneath the road, my mind was torn in kind, each lonely mile a punishment for what I left behind. I am sorry I could not save you. I am sorry I was not strong. I'm sorry I had left you there and stayed away too long. I wanted my last memory to be the life we meant to build, the home, the hope, the children, and the promises unfilled. Others may forgive me, but I will always know the cost of not being there beside you when I was needed most. It will not be the same without you, but you are not truly gone. You live in every road I walked and every coming dawn. A journey of a lifetime has to reach its final bend, but my ending is beginning, and I will love you to the end.
Not in town.
You have traveled far, only to return home to us, barbarian. Oh, much has happened in Haraga since you left. Our homeland is hardly recognizable with so much evil about. Yet I've managed to survive so far. You've seen your share of suffering as well, I'm sure. Seeing you again, alive, does my heart good. I shall pray that you can help us out of this hell.
By no means the expected ending of Hobobarb 3, but after hearing Marla's words, after being woken up back in town, it felt like a very poignant end. The battle, of course, still rages on, but Jayden Brayden hopefully has at least forgiven himself enough to be able to join that battle with his brothers. It's been very difficult for me to let go of Jayden Brayden, which seems very strange. I'll show you some of the video of me recently. I found a church that looked just like the one in Diablo, which I thought was very cool. I can't escape their game, even though during springtime, the weather's improved so much now I can kind of explore that the outside world. spring is always that time when you can kind of think about getting out and what you want to achieve for the summertime, because it never lasts quite as long as you want it to. And springtime, of course, is an opportunity for new beginnings for people like Jayden Brayden, and maybe even us too. Ultimately, our barbarian brother just wanted forgiveness, and the redemption came in his acceptance back into town. And although there's probably a long journey still ahead for Jayden Brayden, at least he can do it in the embrace of his brothers and sisters. And now I can turn to you, my brothers and sisters, and say thank you very much for joining me and Jayden on that adventure, and I really hope to see you guys in the next one.